Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Byzantian Brewscast. It is the height of summer. Things are sweaty. Everything's on fire. I've had an ice cream, and Byzantian Dev has been to places this week, probably.
I have actually, yeah.
Wow, I'm like I'm psychic or something.
Because then I don't sit stationary like for 2 weeks.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Don't
So
what
have you been up to? What have you been up to?
So you were there for one, but I've been hosting a few parties. Catching up with people when they have their work days off, which is nice.
Nice.
I cannot wait for this will sound so boring, but I cannot wait for the recycling people to actually take my cans and bottles.
Because I know.
It has been piling up over 3 or 4 dues, so it looks really bad. But it's just like multiple people's worth of the occasional drinking. I want it gone, and I hope it's going tomorrow. That'd be nice.
Yes.
And I've been doing charity stuff that's been going on. Yesterday was down Stourbridge. There was like a safari themed one for little kids. It was very very wholesome. Although I now realise why people hate Baby Shark. I now understand completely. When it was annoying before, but now I know.
Before.
Yeah.
To that extent, yeah. Because I suppose safari and look at that baby shark. Yes. Look at the shark. Yes.
Yeah. Well, it was a lion and a giraffe. I did not choose the giraffe because.
So they went. Hang on a minute. They went with Baby Shark and not.
But for context, there was the second half of the day. There was like a sort of not really dancing competition for the kids and a few free prizes and stuff.
Oh no!
So there was some dancing. And mostly following instructions and trying to see what people were doing, so I wasn't getting it wrong. So I did get a selfie in the giraffe suit, but I did figure that.
Did you have to hit the gritty?
No. I've been asked to do that, and I don't have a clue how to do that. No. As cool as it was. You're not going to believe this. I don't know how they got their hands on this. You know when the thing broke news that Toys R Us shut down?
Yes. I'm still upset about that.
Yeah. Mary Stevens Hospice somehow has access. They must have bought it. They have the old giraffe costume now.
The Jeffrey the giraffe. Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I took a selfie in it when it was done with the day. I didn't choose to wear it because I'm 6'3" without it, and we had to get changed inside, so I didn't feel like
he didn't feel like limboing under the door. No,
not really. No, not really. Settled for it was still a heavy suit, but
yeah,
it was short enough they could get through a door. So that was fun. And today was the Acorns Hospice. Amazingly, they have an acorn mascot, which
nice.
Again more dancing, but more fun this time. They had a proper DJ playing a lot of stuff you'd see in the summer. Lots of disco and stuff that you'd expect like middle-aged people to listen to. Unironically, lots of which for me is fine. I have middle-aged person taste in music. It's cool.
How do you do the Macarena in an acorn costume?
You can do it. You just don't have as much arm to work with. It's fine. So that went really well. Everyone's in a good mood. There was foam, which I mostly avoided because one time when I was 15, I discovered I was allergic because I went to a teenagers only rave at a French campsite and came back with like allergy face.
Oh dear.
I didn't know until then, by the way. So that's fun. That's fun.
So nice. So my week has been quite a quiet one. I've been kind of low energy all week, though I did get to see my granddad at the weekend on my mother's side. That was nice. Bit of a quiet family get together, but it's still nice in the wake of my nan passing. You know, it's been a few months now, but it still feels quite raw. But these things will pass in time, and actually meeting up as a family, perhaps more than we used to, is good. I feel like family was quite an important thing for me growing up, and it was always like the highlight of my, I guess, every couple of months when I would come down to Birmingham and visit. Nowadays, I just just pop down the road, pop on bus down the road. But other than that, I have been doing event stuff in a few games, and um, I might have been playing horse game. Might might
Oh,
have
oh yeah,
might have been playing funny horse
seen
game.
this one.
So
I know what you're on about.
no, normally I don't like gotcha stuff. I'm not into a lot of gotcha stuff. I never really got into Honkai Star Rail or like Genshin Impact. It's like I don't really care. And I don't like the predatory practices of gacha, like the paying in system. I don't even like it in Blinking Master Duel, and I understand that because card games and card packs, and I buy actual card packs like IRL gacha. But the main reason why I got into the game is because one of the characters, who also is a real horse, is basically the horse version of the Untitled Goose. Their name, his slash her. So the horse is a guy, but the character's a she because Musume. Gold Ship is just a troublemaking, annoying, funny, weird person, and I love them to pieces. And that's what got me into playing the game. And I haven't even put a penny into it yet, so I came for
That's
the
good.
I came for Gold Ship. I stayed for Haru Urara, who's adorable, and Special Week and some of the others. And I have been genuinely enjoying the game. I guess it's because like I've always liked racing related stuff, and I guess horse racing is just like drag racing but without cars. I guess. Um, so it's fine, and it presses all of my like RPG gain stat buttons. So I'm like, yes. Plus, I got some shorts content out of it, so that's nice.
I'd love it if it has a really serious plot with no warning.
Oh, so the game itself kind of does have kind of a relatively serious plot. So the whole like
Oh,
plot
that's
centers
fantastic.
around. So the whole plot actually centers around like actual competitive racing, like actual competitive horse racing, or running, I guess in this case. So they're all a lot of the characters like super serious and have like super serious rivalries with each other, and then there's just Goldship who literally kidnaps you, brings you to the beach, and has you hunting for treasure, and the treasure was a coconut the entire time. That is Gold Ship in a nutshell. And that like starts off in her like story thing that you can watch from the get-go. In fact, I think you also get kidnapped by, I said kidnapped. You get like a bag put over your head by the director if you complete the actual like career mode run for like a surprise party. So technically, canonically, you get kidnapped at least twice.
That but weird that happens twice. Okay.
If I had a nickel for every time I was kidnapped by a horse girl, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. But it's a good game. You've got they're not all Japanese horses. I think a few of them are like from other countries. You've got like El Condor Pasa, who's actually an American horse. I think I'm not sure, but I think Airgroove is actually a British horse, but I don't know what like derby she ran in. So, but it's cool. It's
You can
not
tell we're
just all
drinking tea or
Japanese
something, right?
stuff. Yeah, but so the thing with this as well is there's a lot of stuff outside of the game which is like very weird. So there is a KFC Uma Musume collab, if you've seen that.
No, I haven't seen that. But I've just seen
So
trailers about the game, and everyone's
so there's a
streaming
whole
it right now.
bunch of like little clips of them ordering KFC and ordering buckets and stuff like that. And then there's just Goldship who cosplays as the Colonel for no reason.
Okay.
You can even
Uh,
get in
sure.
Japan. There's a promotion. You could actually get a special like collectible card with Goldship cosplaying as the Colonel Sanders. It's just the weirdest thing.
All right, sure.
Uh,
Why not? Right?
and on that note, let's move swiftly like a horse on to our tabletop book club.
Yes. Let's have a look. Where's my downloads? Uh, whoop. There is it when you need it. There it is. Yes. I've been reading a game I'm getting to called The Dragon Rampant, which is
Ooh.
because I went to Element Games on Thursday to pick up something I've been meaning to buy. I
Uh-huh.
just haven't bothered to do it yet. And it's just a box of just Dark Age Irish. Just
Oh.
just a load of lads down the road.
Just a
Um,
load of lads, having a bit of a thrash.
they do look like they're having a proper thrash, and then they wanted to find a use for them because there's one of those generic box sets where it's like 30 like minis and 30 blokes and 10 because it's fitting that 10 wolfhounds. So you actually get 10 dogs with them, which is kind of nice.
Fair. Just some
So
doggos,
and
Some puppers.
big dogs, yeah. So I just wanted like a rule system that would fit them, and it's a really good system for that. Um,
Nice.
but it's an open source way to play fantasy games. You basically put your arms. I think it's like units of 6, 10, or 12, but the rules are really open, saying, "Oh, you can say it's a reduced model unit." It's like units have unit strength rather than like
Ah.
a hard and fast. This must always be this unit.
Yeah.
You just sort of pick a general theme for the unit. So if you have different ranges, it's agnostic as hell. It's really cool stuff like there's something like elite riders, heavy riders, light riders. It's all like if it fits the general theme, you can roll with it. So there's no, it's a really fun idea, especially when you have like generic box stuff, which I tend to quite like for or just to fill out my mini collection for D&D. Um,
Yippee!
uh, I think it's a really good system. It's D6 only, and it's the emphasis is more on the narrative than the mechanics, which I quite like.
Yeah.
You'd be having a really crap game, but at least it's like it's setting some sort of canon or lore that's really nice. And it's sort of got a remember that the fate system that we started playing years ago now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So it's got so okay, we're looking at one now. So a unit of light missiles. So it's could take usually it takes the form of uh scouts are like lightly armed archers, something that's not designed with fatal missiles, I guess, or
Mm.
goblin archers. Anything could fit as long as it's in that ballpark. You can give them options. Basically, they call them fantastical rules. Basically, if you've got a unit and it has a certain look to it, and go, they should be able to do that, and your opponent also agrees, yeah, they should be able to do that. You can just give them a fun rule
Yeah.
like that, just to make them play a little better. But as long as it's vaguely fair, like you get like fantastical rule each, depending on what you've got, and it's not broken. It does run a lot of trust, but it's a really fun open-ended system. Um, I really like it. It's works for old fantasy models as well. Anything that if you've got an old army, you can probably put your Skaven in, and you could easily sub in stuff and make it.
That.
Not giving you ideas or anything, but you could, if you have enough infantry models, you could easily go, oh yeah, these are light infantry because they got spears or whatever, and you can give
Mm.
them a fun Skaven only special rule and justify it. So yeah, sure, that makes sense. Um, that's a really fun idea. It is somewhat competitive, but it's not written to be like here's how you win. It's the story comes first, which is an interesting
Mm.
balance for a war game, but I quite like it.
I do like my more
Yes, it's
story-driven wargaming stuff than competitive stuff. I tend to even in
yeah, it's not. Yeah.
what's it? Even in Kill Team, I go for like the more what would the lads do in this situation?
That's why I don't play Space Marines. I think they're a little overpowered.
Hmm.
Play something that I know is kind of squishy because they actually die. It's kind of nice. You have to swap people out. Um, it's a game where some things are special, but there's no one unit that will beat everything. It's a quite a nice fair system, clearly made by not the stereotype, but like older war gamers that
Yeah.
care more about the spirit of the game rather than the winning of dice rolls.
Hmm. That's a
I
fair
think it's a really
analysis.
cool idea.
Hmm.
That's how long is it? It's not a long book. The PDF is still free, and it's by Osprey. I think it was the first Osprey book I ever read. To be fair,
Yeah.
I read it in. I would have been at Sports Direct at the time in the
Wow.
tiny break room on my lunch breaks. Just reading it in my half-hour break or what have you. The whole thing comes in like 3 pages, so it's not a long read, but you can easily get a feel for it in the first few pages. Which I think is a really strong, it's really strongly written book.
Hmm. Very nice. I shall have to go have
Uh,
a look sometime.
yeah, it's
So,
he's readily available as well.
mm.
So what have you found this week?
So I've got the quick start rules for a game called Chivalry and Sorcery. I have no idea
Oh,
where I got this, but it's a paperback. It's one of the few
fun.
paperbacks I actually have. And literally like the inside page image is of like two like medieval knights with like proper shields with
Perfect.
the proper heraldry like flags on their shields having a bit of a duel in like an arena. So that's the kind of thing we're going with here. Apparently, Chivalry and Sorcery is a very old game, having been enjoyed for more than 40 years. Probably more than that now, I guess. That was fifth edition version of Chivalry and Sorcery, I guess. Weird.
Fun.
It's been personally rethought, tied up, and altered for ease of play, as well as deepen the sense of immersion into a medieval world with added fantasy. This volume is a taste of what's in the core rulebook. Oh, I love that little foreword. That's nice, isn't it? Oh, Britannia Games. Interesting. I think I've heard of them before. Britannia Game Designs 2019. But we've got the core mechanics Skillscape, spelt with a K, not a C. Interesting. Success or failure is determined by the use of a D100. Oh, this is a percentile based. And separate D10 crit die determines quality of success or failure. Oh, so it's a percentile based game. That's different.
Okay.
Wow. There's a lot of like basic sort of, I guess, RPGing stuff by the looks of things. You've got agility, action points, skills, success chance, crit die, attribute rolls. You've got charts and graphs and the success of the crit die. 1 is mediocre, 10 to 10 critical. So you got different levels of success. That's actually quite interesting. That's very different having like a mandated here's the level of success based on this die rather than how well you rolled over the percentage.
That makes your character feel a bit special. I quite like that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
So
yeah.
you could just about make the check but do a phenomenal job at it. Which does actually make sense, actually, yeah, when you think about it. Because IRL, sometimes you're like, oh no, I'm about to, absolutely bin this corner, but accidentally do like the coolest drift of your life.
Sounds
Um,
like what I think of? Sounds a bit like a system where morale is really important, where you don't necessarily
mm,
win a fight just because you've massacred everyone. It's because the other side says, sod this, we're off.
yeah. Defensive actions. Heyo. Ooh. Defensive actions as well as miracles. Okay. Domain of priests. Mage uses their mode of magic, so does priest calls divine power through prayer act of faith. Summons of faith will be called upon automatically with the right prayer ritual. Others require the priest to make a skill check. Ooh. That's interesting. So there is magic in this, but I think it's low magic, which is nice.
Well, you get that very Arthurian or Bretonnian is in the name, I suppose.
Yes. We've even got an old English style map with the darkened forest with a skull showing "Here be monsters," basically.
Are
Nice.
there images of knights fighting snails?
I haven't seen any yet, but there are some really good looking,
Oh,
like, period accurate looking maps. Goblin bandits, badger. There we see. Okay, we don't have snails, but we do have knights fighting badgers. There's literally a stat block for badgers. Apparently, they have 15 on. Oh, it gives 15 honor. So in this, XP is honor. That also makes sense.
hmm?
So you can just straight up fight a badger. And giant spiders as well. Oh, cool. So we've got, like, some Precon characters. We've got Master William Mallister, who is a forester. Sir Edmund Silverheart, the knight.
Mm-hmm.
Magus Barnabas Hook,
Ooh.
who is a
These are very English
hex
names. I
master.
really like it.
Yeah. Rosamund Godspell, who is a priest.
That's
Ursilda
a priest name.
Dortmund, the warrior. Harthur
Yep.
Brunswick, the warrior. And Lord Otto Gavilon, the herald. I guess it's equivalent to Bard? Wow, look at this. Wow. This is quite
That would
complicated
literally
on a cursory glance, but it does
fair
look
enough.
very cool. The character sheets are
They're
very...
very
They're not...
taken
So
to.
the character
Oh,
sheets for
sorry.
this, they look very form... Sorry, function over form. So they're not like the 5e ones that look really
That's
cool.
good.
It's very numbers-y, very orderly. Probably
Yeah.
quite a bit easier to read, but not quite as pretty to look at, I guess. But it's cool. There's some spells. We've got sleep, area sleep, hold person is in here, suggestion, fear, detect illusions, blurred image, okay, cloak self, lesser wards, arcane cloak, shadow bolt, create or command magic fire. See, that's nice. So you can not only just instead of having just fire bolt, it's no. Here's create and or command magic fire, because that, yeah. Why have a bunch of different spells when you could have just one spell that does the thing? And then we've got like different prayers and bless items and sanctifications and holy oil. That's
Oh, love
neat.
it. Love it.
Yeah. Oh, there's a little like snippet of the map of the Dragon Reaches, and it is giving my map brain like, ooh. I might see if I can find a copy of the actual rulebook, because this was actually this series, I guess, is actually made in the Black Country, as in, Dudley and that.
Oh,
Yeah, so
great.
it's
Very
very
nice.
local. So I might try and get a hold of this just to support the original creators. Oh, the actual character sheets in the actual core rulebook do look a bit nicer. But they
All
still
right.
keep their form quite a bit. It just breaks things up a little bit into sections, so it's a bit easy to read, which is very nice.
No,
And there's things like
that makes
there's
sense.
things like adventures. You got like Craig Hill, Curse of the Casket, Treason. Ooh. Just Land of the Rising Sun. Hello. I
Oh,
might want to get
look,
that
that
at
sounds
some
fun.
point. Nightwalkers, Goblin or Control, and Dwarves Companion. Ooh, dwarves. And again, even the dwarves look kind of medieval looking. They don't look like they have kind of the air of dwarves, like fantasyfied, but they're not
Oh,
nearly as like stout and fat as regular dwarves are. They still look kind of like small humans, but with like some kind of like,
okay.
slightly pointed ears. I guess more of a British interpretation of dwarves than anything else.
Short people.
Yeah, they also did Rocket Jocks, which is their sci-fi book, and V
That's no
Imperium
fun.
Victoriana, which I guess is something in the Victorian era, which is rather interesting.
That sounds like Space British Empire, which is a very fun
Yeah,
concept with this, won't it?
by Colin D. Spears. I might have to get hold of some of this stuff because I can't imagine it'd be quite very expensive, but it's very interesting looking. Yeah, it's made it. Yeah, it's kind of rare to actually see something that was actually like made in England these days or invented in England.
No, that's very true, actually. Yeah, I quite like that. Sounds like
So,
something I'd read
yeah.
on my phone through an ebook. 'Cause I do love
Ah,
third party stuff like that.
uh, Let me have a look. They have. Oh, it's on Drive Through RPG actually. Oh,
Very good.
as well. I'm gonna see how much it costs on Drive. I'd like to get like a physical book for this, but um, watermarked PDF, 21 quid. Well, $21 technically. Hardcover,
18.
$61, but I'm gonna guess it's more like 40 odd quid, which is about right for a core rulebook. Interesting. Interesting. I might have a look and see if I can find a place to actually buy it at. Oh, hang on, there's Amazon. I don't like using Amazon that much, which should give me a good. Is this the hardcover copy? I can't tell. Anywho, I'll have a look at getting some more stuff of that because this is neat. Any road. Our next section being critical football.
Uh, Fumble. Uh, I've got a small one, but it's a funny one.
Hey.
Um, it didn't happen in front of the kids, thank God, but I had a wardrobe malfunction on
Oh
Saturday.
no.
My tail fell off. It's fun.
Oh dear.
Yeah, it's one of those that they've. It's not. It wasn't properly attached, but there's so the way the costume works. It's got like an underbit to make it look a little chubby,
Hmm.
like a ring arrangement. It's got a hole in the back where the tail would go.
Uh-huh.
Now the not quite football shorts to make it look like mascots aren't nude also have a hole in it, so you sort of ring it through both the holes. Thankfully, there was caught before the lion's tail fell off. That would have rather ruined the magic. Wasn't fun. Um, I
On
think is there anything more industrial? You know what? Yes, there is. Have you heard of the game Ready or Not?
I think I've heard whispers of it in the ether. Go on.
Yes, it's for those that don't know, it's a SWAT-inspired shooter simulation game, which is it goes pretty deep into trying to be realistic to like high tension like situations that require SWAT teams.
Uh-huh.
So they cover stuff like they go pretty. The game covers stuff like there's a school shooting scenario in it.
Oh,
There's
oh.
there's a whole level like where they actually just show mass child graves and expose rings of child abusers. So it goes pretty hard.
So we're we're,
Where it
we're
went
talking
wrong,
like full on. Is it Battlefield Hardline that did the whole like moral
uh,
thing about being a
yes,
soldier? Yeah. It's like,
yes,
oh.
with the combined difficulty of it treats bullets like bullets, so one or two shots will just kill you.
That
You
makes
got
sense.
to watch yourself. Yep. Where it goes wrong is it's I don't I don't know exactly who demanded it be censored, but they've censored some of the worst elements of it, and I don't think that's very much in spirit of what the game was trying to do.
Hmm.
Because this is a game that's deliberately trying to depict how tough SWAT operations actually are and how bad things have to be to call them in. And
Yeah.
if you censor it, it just doesn't work as intended. Especially stuff like they don't literally show the child abuse happening, but they show the places where it happened and the signs that it happened. And so it very tactfully implies, um, but with that censored, it loses the impact and its reputation as a gritty would-be realistic simulator falls apart.
Hmm.
So I really hope they go back on that, or some clever modder decides to
Yeah, because I suppose
mess with it the
because
right
there is an
way.
extent where there might be a limit to what they're actually allowed to do, even on an 18 rating, maybe.
Yes,
Because
I'll give them,
because there's
that.
M
I'll give
because I
that.
guess a lot of companies because obviously here in the UK we go by I think it's the ESRB rating, isn't it? Like so
That
you can
is
go
correct.
or is it Peggy? One of the two. Either which
I
way,
think we
our thing caps out at 18. We don't have a mature rating for video games. I don't think.
don't have an R
Um,
rating or anything or an M.
yeah, America,
Um,
however, does, and there's this stigma in I think the states where if it's R rated or M rated, usually those are like porn games, whatever. So there's this stigma about making your game R rated, I believe, because it gets a lot less
there is,
customers.
yes.
So they probably were trying to avoid that, or at the very least, the publisher was. This could be another thing. Might not necessarily be the devs' fault. It could just be the publisher being like, "Yeah, we're
No,
not going to publish this unless you change that."
yes, that's not like the Steam scenario. If you heard about that one as well.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that. That's going
Yeah,
to fuck up a lot of games. My goodness.
all the modders, they'll be out in force. You
Yeah.
give them a week.
Fucking, I guess I'll have to take The Witcher 3 off Steam. Um,
But they,
they'll have to take
God of War, the
Cyberpunk
older one,
off Steam. 'Cause I'm pretty sure that has
older
sex
God of
scenes
War
in it.
games.
Yeah.
I don't. Uh,
Saints Row 3 and 4.
yes,
Definitely. Uh,
I wonder if it's one of those situations where they try and put it in effect and they have to take off so much content, they just default and go, you know what, this is too much work to cancel everything.
yeah.
Never mind.
Apparently, it's something to do like the banks that they work with or something, and the banks were like,
Yes, it's
"Yeah, we don't
the
want to support this anymore."
actually money based.
I get the feeling that they're probably gonna have to like do a U-turn and just like say "f you" to the banks they work with and just work with other banks instead. Because I feel like
They
this
might
is
have
going to
to.
bite them in the ass way more than they think it's gonna.
Yes, I wonder if this does keep on a bit. It will be like what they're better for it now, but what Germany does with their video game censorship. So they're like
Yeah.
Australia. They're quite they're quite infamous for censoring stuff. So for a while, there would be it was mostly RTS games that did this.
Hmm.
Any game where you'd fight the Nazi Party or the Germans in World War II, they would actually have to censor the Nazi logo,
Yeah.
even though even if it was so obviously meant to be Hitler or any of his generals.
It's like, or it's like this is so obviously these are the bad guys.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so I wonder if we'll end up with like a few months of games that were meant to be porn games, but now they look like poorly done asset flips because there was nothing. Because I feel like with porn games, as with any art form, there's like a small group of people that actually care about the art form and actually
Yeah.
try. Um, so yeah, it will be a porn game, but it will also be done with with a set of standards, if you like.
Yeah.
But then you have like the people that love to make their cheap asset flips
The
and their version of
RPG Maker slop, basically.
yes, the bad RPG maker. There was the odd, very solid RPG maker game, but yeah, you're quite right. But I think like with the porn games where their version of porn is make a model on blend and it comically like balloon like breasts.
Yeah.
You know that that kind of aesthetic.
Yeah.
So they'll have to cut that out and they'll replace it with well, if they want to stay on Steam, they'll have to replace it with an asset flip that looks like it was bought from a store and barely modded. And
Oh.
no, I don't think anyone will want that.
Oh no,
Apart from like YouTubers,
this
yeah.
also means we'll never get the Eye of Argon game on Steam because
Oh,
we
no,
can't we
that's
can't
quite
have the
right. That's
saggy
definitely like a
nipples.
the, yes, massive breed. No, they were breeds, massive breeds,
Great.
and sagging nipples or
Uh,
busts.
yeah,
Yeah,
no,
but
no
to
one's
be fair,
allowed
that is
to
a
husk
that needs to be
Buster.
animated. You know, I want
Oh
to
my
hear someone
goodness.
do that. I've never figured out what that would sound like.
But yeah, so
So
like
yes,
this whole situation with Steam, I'm just like
yeah, so
this
yeah,
no.
so the theme is censorship this week, I suppose, which is
Yeah.
I'm very much anti-censorship. Always have been, especially when it comes to dark content. Because if you're going to try and scare people with dark content, you don't cut its balls off and say you can't do that. You gotta
Yeah.
you gotta show it as tactfully as you can because it's a bad thing, rather than listen to. I mean, I get what they're trying to like, but people that try and help a cause by saying this thing is bad when it's an obviously a bad thing, and they sort of take the teeth out of what they're trying to display, and then it
Yes.
doesn't work as a bit of fiction.
Yeah. So my critical fumbles, I've got two critical fumbles this week. The first, let's
Hey,
let's get it out of the way. Let's get them out of the way. Wiz the curse is
the
back in
Wizards, they're
again.
all
It's
yes.
not. I'm actually not that upset about them this time around because the actual set for Edge of Eternities looks solid as fuck. Like the robot designs are awesome. Like a lot of the artwork is really really cool coming out of this set, and mechanically there's a lot of good stuff. Even if the ships aren't vehicles, but we've already established that in a previous critical fumble, so that's fine. Um, so apparently the so everything in the set is good for the most part. Apparently, I haven't read it yet, but apparently the story for it is pretty pants, actually. Like, you
Mhm.
created this space opera plane, uh, with some really solid character and card designs and whatnot. You have the makings and potential of a really interesting like book slash story for the set, and apparently it is the
Okay,
fucking blandest ass thing imaginable. Apparently, it's like really
that
bland.
doesn't surprise me. It's I think it's I I've seen that with a few things. Like it's something I noticed creatively. If you make something really weird all the time, you weirdly end up being generic again.
Yeah, it kind of rolls back round. Yeah, but there's
Yeah,
like,
it's like the more outlandish you try and be, you often end up circling back to the same
hmm,
ultimate evil or ultimate conflict plot line that you see if you weren't trying to be remotely controversial.
yeah, but it's like there's so much potential here with some of the other creature races, etc. Like they've got the void people that kind of like worship death and black holes, and that's like really weirdly interesting. This idea like black hole worshippers that they kind of like worship the blinded
Yeah, that's
eternities
kind
and the
of
void and
interesting.
have sacrifices and stuff. Like that's interesting. That's weird. You've got like the insect people, which are kind of uh they are like they're like more explorative type race, very inquisitive, but they've still got I guess that kind of like the Tau almost, but
Right?
varying levels of technology of like advanced. They're not like they don't seem to be like massively like big city democracy types. From what I can see, you've got sort of a lot of the robot types look really cool. The humans, I guess, are kind of there. The Carvus look
Yeah.
like the equivalent of what are they called? The warrior people from Star Trek. I'm blanking on the name.
The Klingons.
Yeah, they're kind of the Klingons of
Yeah.
the world by the looks of things, but aren't so obviously pastiching. They still got their own kind of nuances, and also Carvu's a creature type of magic that hasn't been really utilized
Yay!
that much. So
I
it's
love
like,
it.
yay!
I love it.
Finally, we have some kind of plot point or like species thing based on Carvu's. That's cool. There's like giant space worms and a
The
space
Atogs will
dragon and
return.
a space sphinx. It's really
The
cool.
Atogs will return one day.
Yeah. There is actually a space Eldrazi and a space Sliver, which is actually kind of cool. That they're back in some kind of level of plot, which is nice, but not so egregiously so. Yeah, it's just like that's actually some weird, interesting things going on, but the plot is just the plot. Like you have all of the makings of a really good plot. You have every piece that you need to make a good story, and you
Well, they
just
capitalize
paste
there.
it up the wall. Yeah. So I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's
but I mean, the storylines of Magic haven't really been good since before War of the Spark. So like, a good few years now. Oh, yeah, they need to get better like actual storyline writers. I think. I wouldn't be surprised if there was some Chat GPT involved. To be fair.
gonna. How much is this AI getting paid? Is
Yeah,
that's what.
yeah. So the other one is weirdly enough, Square Enix or whoever coded Final Fantasy 14. Because
Right, what have they done with it this time?
for some bizarre reason, There is a event slash gate slash thing in something called the Gold Saucer. So the Gold Saucer, as you know, is a staple of Final Fantasy series. It's the
Of course,
place of
yes.
mini games and
Final
funny
7.
things. And in
Yeah.
their infinite wisdom, the developers decided to add parkour minigames in an MMO. If you don't know,
That
people,
sounds.
MMOs are
Hmm.
not known for their movement mechanics.
Yeah, no, isn't it? No, Final Fantasy 4, you do move yourself. I'm thinking of like
Yes,
old ones where you like literally point and flick yourself.
yes, you do move yourself, but the issue isn't necessarily like the walking around, it's the jumping. You don't have any sort of like bonuses or
Shadow
abilities
or
you can.
anything.
That too, it's more you don't have any other abilities to help you jump, at least not on the classes I've been
Oh
using.
no.
I don't know if like there's a
Here.
thief class that does it better, but the other problem is once you jump you're committed to it. You have zero aerial control. Zero. You can spin but in place in the arc of your jump, but you cannot correct your jump.
Oh dear. Can you swivel? Oh, then that's bad design. You can't swivel
You
or
can't
swilliv.
swivel or swilliv. So they're expecting you to
Damn.
do quite difficult, precise parkour sections for a minigame in a game that does not have the capability for you to maneuver yourself in the air.
Oh, that seemed like a bit of a short-sighted thing there. Okay.
Yeah,
Um.
it's like why would you subject people to this? The only reason
Okay.
I'm
So
saying it is
let's
because
say.
one of the current events one
Right.
of the because you get things called irregular tomestones, and the
Right.
gates in the Golden Saucer are one way of getting those, and they're the only way of getting those if you're like less than level 60 or whatever. So guess who's been
Okay.
doing a lot of jumping puzzles with bad jumping mechanics lately?
Is that you?
Yeah,
Sounds like you.
because I want to get this
Yep.
robot frog mount.
I was going to ask what is it all for? Because the reward must be good for putting up with it, right?
So some of the things you can get clothing items, cosmetic things. You can get certain minions. You get certain mounts. I think like the end cap thing is a coffee cup earring. Just, bearing in mind, this is Final Fantasy 14. Like vanity stuff is like really really sought after in this game, particularly if you want to earn money doing the
Okay.
Fashion Week stuff, which I managed to get 10 grand of Moogle points in somehow.
Oh,
I think it's a
okay.
partition prize. I think it's like participation prize, but I got very high on the participation prize or something. I was like, yes. Um, there's like unique rewards you can get from doing the Fashion Week stuff, etc. And people really like to make the stuff look cool and unique. And I guess it's like similar to World of Warcraft, I suppose. It's like, yeah, getting certain mounts. They might not do anything different to your existing mount, but it's just cool. And it's something you don't have to pay real money for, so nice.
Okay, so that's just a game design mistake. Okay.
Yeah. It's a game
On.
design mistake which has led to being infuriating to the point where like people have post-traumatic stress disorder from acorns.
This reminds me of trying to 100% like one of the PS1 or PS2 Final Fantasy games.
Mm,
There's always that one mini game that your stats have no effect on, and it's relies on pick like perfect reflexes to win to get one ultimate weapon.
yeah. There are, of course, other
Oh,
mini
so
games
good.
in this,
Okay.
but it seems like the next one is chosen at random, and you have to wait up to 20 minutes before you can do another one, and it's always different each time, most of the time. So not only not only are you waiting up to 20 minutes for the next minigame gate to start to get like 3 stones of allegory, uh, you also don't know until the event actually finishes, if you finish early, what the next event will be. So it's like, oh yeah, the next one could be the Slices Right, or the Wind one, which is the Wind one is
Oh, you don't even
entirely
pick
luck
the
based.
game?
Yeah, you don't even pick the game. You have
Oh
to wait. You have to
no.
wait up to 20 real time minutes for each gate It is. It's like, why isn't there a faster way to grind these event stones for low-level characters? Could you please just put them in some of the lower-level dungeons as well, please? For goodness sake.
Hmm.
At least I'm getting Moogle points out of it, which has led me to getting some of a outfit that I really wanted to get because it's funny.
Is it what, the Final Fantasy X2 Moogle costume or something?
That
That'd be a
no,
funny,
but
that'd be
that
a funny bit.
is in the game.
Ah,
I don't know how I get it, but that is
oh,
in
of
the
course it
game.
is.
There's a piggy outfit as well, which is like really expensive. But there's also just straight up bunny girl outfits because there's loads of bunny girls
Yeah.
at the Golden Saucer. So I'm like, funny. Um, that's just funny. That's just really funny to me. So I have the cuffs and I have the tights. I just need the other bits. But like the main torso bit's like 100,000 Moogle coins. I'm like, bruh, are you insane?
How many do you get on a success? If let's say you're lucky, you actually win the mini game you were hoping you'd get. How many you get a go?
So the highest minigame win you can get is if you manage by luck to be the one of the last people standing in where the wind blows. You can get 9,000 Moogle coins in one go.
Okay, so we're talking about if you're playing your best you can possibly play. Uh, 9 or 10 or 11 different successes.
Yeah, if it was consistently that. You're
Right.
looking more on an average of about, I'd say about 20 gates if you manage to do them
Jesus.
all perfectly all the time. And that
You
would
know what this weirdly
be
reminds
about
me of?
6 hours
Oh,
of
sorry.
gameplay between
You
waiting
know what
as
this
well.
weirdly reminds me of? Oh, sorry.
Go on.
It's like this really reminds me of did you ever see the old it's not the Vine Source thing now, but he played there's something called oh Vine World. I think it's Vine Worlds I'm thinking of.
Uh huh.
It's you've talked about it, it's like a Vine Source fan game, just a load of
Yes.
memes. Yes, there is like a, uh boardwalk amusement level in it, and it's one of 3D games with like a really quick respawn, but it's also got like an attempt at platforming, and it's got like a joke one called Babby Game, spelt misspelled and all because um, but they also have Rubber Ross World,
Oh.
which is really really hard, and I spent uh like must have spent maybe about a couple of hours
Uh huh.
trying to actually beat this thing until I realized something really, really silly. Um, so if you collect enough emotes, you unlock stuff. It's all based on literally how many you pick up.
Nice.
Um, I was trying to beat it without having the the maximum number of jumps you could do in one go,
Oh.
which made it doubly easy. And even then, took me like dozens of attempts, just reloading, and it was just a mess. So I sympathise with just being kind of bad at platforming. Um, he's not great at it apparently.
Yeah, I'm not terrible at platforming. It's just that the mechanics in this game are not are
Not
not they
there.
are not built they are not built for platforming. It's basically the same kind of. Actually, I would even say I think even World of Warcraft has aerial control in your jumps. I think it's like how do you
Okay.
But yeah, so that's my critical fobs of the week. What do we have in our homebrew of the week slot? Doo-doo-doo-doo.
I believe we rolled summer, didn't we? It was the
Yes.
theme, which is nice and appropriate. And because I've had 2 weeks to sit on it, I have come up with a list of spells that sum up how I feel about the season and feel kind of thematic.
Sounds
I've
ominous.
gone I've gone from level 1 to 3,
Nice.
uh, just as a sampler to have a bit of fun with it. Um, so cantrip level, it's a bit redundant name to look back on it, but Radiant Light, evocation, one action, 60 feet, up to 1 minute. It's one of those weird 5-foot radius spells. It's dependent on what. So you can choose a friendly target, and they gain 1 to 6 temporary hit points.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a hostile target, they take it's a whiz save or they take 1d6 radiant damage.
Oh.
And it's stuff like the free sample spell of the lore, I guess.
Ah.
Uh, then this show called Tolling Sun, which is how I felt about most of the last couple of weeks, actually. So it's concentration up to 1 minute, 60 feet, 20-foot radius.
Mm-hmm.
Anything in the radius has to pass a wisdom save or take 1d6 fire and 1d6 force damage
Uh-huh.
and gain the effects of 1 level of exhaustion for up to 1 minute. They don't actually
Ooh.
have the exhaustion, but they must act as if they do have it.
Interesting.
Because summer makes me tired, and I wanted to actually put this into context and make other people suffer. And I couldn't in all good faith justify just giving people levels of exhaustion permanently. So this was my compromise.
Makes sense.
Level 2, Blinding Light is based on an old spell from the Lord of the Rings tabletop game. So what it did, it basically made it's Blinding Light, which is cool. So it's pardon me. So it gives off a radius of about 30 feet of bright light. It's a concentration up to 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And if the target's hostile, you can force them to pass a dexterity save, or they just get blinded. It's up to a minute on the blindness. And also, if it can be action or reaction. It's like shield, but rather than raise AC, it imposes disadvantage on a ranged attack. It's very specifically a ranged attack. Because imagine if you're swinging a sword at someone, it doesn't matter if you're, if you're still swinging the sword, you're going to clip them anyway, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I thought that'd be a cool one because I thought that's a neat little spell with a really straightforward name. And level 3 is just a big old blasty spell. It's a weird one because you can't cast it on a actual creature or construct. You can cast it on a surface.
Oh.
It's Radiant Pillar. So basically, you choose where it forms,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a big old radius attack. Sort of like consider it like a very aggressive version of a guiding bolt.
Oh, so I was thinking more like, is it like the sun version of Moonbeam?
No, I didn't end up doing that. No, it's a permanent fixture. It just makes a light source,
Oh.
as well as do I think it was 66 3d6 fire, 3d6 radiant. And it also goes bright light that
Nice.
can blind people as well. So this little spell sums up my feelings on summer nicely. But it can be nice at cantrip level. Anything beyond that is honestly very painful.
Mm-hmm.
What have we got for this week?
So I've come up with a small companion that I might add to called the Summer of Fun, and the first bit of this, I went with like, okay, what do I think when I think summer? Well, I think anime beach episode, unfortunately. But
Amazing.
I have made this slightly tongue in cheek, but still relatively toned down. So there's a bunch of different swimsuits. And of course, so it's like armor that isn't armor because a swimsuit is not going to
Right.
protect you from shit most of the time. So, you know how I do things like armor slots for different attunements? This just takes up your
Yeah.
whole armor slot for attunement. And most of them give minuses to AC. So Swimming with the Night gives you -1, but And this is it where it comes into play. So these like magical swimsuits will have minuses to AC, but they'll give you another effect to compensate. So Swimmer of the Night is a black swimsuit. Gives you advantage on stealth checks between the hours of 9 p.m. and 6 a.m. Once night falls each day, you gain 3d4 temporary hit points that last until expended or until dawn. Just a very basic little thing. Good for basically each one was designed kind of with a class in mind, so to speak. So this is like the rogue swimwear.
Right.
Zenith's halter, which is like a sun printed bikini. -1 to AC, but you're resistant to radiant damage and any effects of weather related to heat. So it's like magical sunscreen.
Cool.
So kind of good for certain classes. It's kind of like I had this with like I guess either wizard or cleric in mind. If they have an AoE spell that deals radiant damage, they can just be like, "Yep, I'll center on self."
Okay, so we've weirdly got some slight overlap.
Yes.
That's fun.
You got Racing Stripe Bikini, which does -1 to AC, but your movement speed is increased by 15. So this is more designed for like rangers in mind, and so that you can, get into and get out of combat faster with your ranged weapons. Right. The joke is that the stripes are actually horizontal, not vertical, so they're not really racing stripes at all. But they are banned in professional sport use because it's a bit like doping. It's like you're literally giving yourself an unfair advantage. You're literally making yourself faster by wearing these clothes. Then we've got something a bit different. We've got a wetsuit, which is actually non-magical. It's more of a technology thing.
Is it perpetually moist?
No. It's got oxygen bags. Unfortunately, they're in it. So it's +0 to AC, so it doesn't really give you any extra AC, but doesn't also take it away, because it is a wetsuit, which is a little bit better at protecting you than a bikini. You take -2 cold damage from all non-magical sources, because it's a wetsuit. Those things are bloody warm, and they are designed to keep you warm underwater. -5.
Okay, I'm following.
Yeah, -5 feet to movement speed if the wearer is male. I'll let you know now. This wetsuit is not designed for men. It's a bit ill-fitting. The suit contains enough air for 20 minutes of breathing. To refill it, you must turn on the suck valve in the back and wait for an hour. So wetsuits specifically designed for shallow ocean diving with an inconspicuous breathing tube and very conspicuously placed oxygen storage. This is perfect for both divers and shelves alike. I will leave it to your imagination where the 2 oxygen bags might have been placed by a certain artificer who thought it was funny.
The suck tubes.
Yeah, the classic joke of "Are you stuffing that, ma'am?" kind of thing. The beach episode joke. Nope. This is just my wetsuit. These are oxygen bags. Very useful. Yep, it's basically slightly risque anime reference joke there. Just to anime trope reference. There's always
no one's above a dick joke.
Yep. Well, I was getting more like inflated boobs joke, but yes.
Oh, yeah, we went different places there. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. We got swimsuit of warding. This is a magical one. -1 to AC versus non-magical sources. +4 to AC versus magical sources specifically, or +6 if it's the rare version, and +1 to saves versus spells and magical effects. It's a purple one-piece designed for that magically inclined holidaymaker, perfect for protecting yourself from your own magical mishaps or those of your peers. It's modest as well to boot. It's like one, very that one very plain-looking, that the nerd of the group might wear, aka in this case the wizard. Because it is near enough designed for evocation wizards. And
wizards have to have their swimsuits of warning.
And then there's the kind of generic academy swimsuit. So -1 to AC, but checks made when training skills get +3. And if they would suffer an injury from a failed check, such as a natural 1 crit fail if using, roll a d3. If they roll a 3, they do not suffer that injury. So, it's a plain blue swimsuit made for training at various sport academies across the realm. They're enchanted with a special spell that makes learning and growing easier. It's partly a reference to Uma Musume, because there's literally a summer camp there where they wear specific... They actually have, like, a specific swimsuit design that everyone wears. Kind of weird. There's, like, plain blue. So, okay. It's like, you know what, let's make that a magic item. A swimsuit that makes you learn better.
Okay.
And then 2 non-swimsuit items. These are both weapons. We've got the volleyball of harming. It's the enchanted volleyball. Possibly used by Waka. Because I know Waka uses
I was going to make a Waka joke. Right, yeah.
So it's got a range of 30 with upward range 60 for, disadvantage range.
Does it return as well?
I didn't make it return, but I'm going to add that because I think that would make sense.
That's a fair point.
It's also treated as an improvised thrown weapon. So unless you have proficiency in improvised weapons, because it is a volleyball, it's not intended to be a weapon. However, when attuned, this weapon normally does 1 bludgeoning, because I guess it's a volleyball, it's not really a weapon. But when attuned, this weapon deals an additional 1d4 psychic damage. Damage with this weapon is always non-lethal, because it is a volleyball.
You know what? I like that.
I'll put
you could use it in some sort of
returns to user on a successful hit. So if you hit successfully, it returns to you. Because that does make sense.
Okay.
And
I was going to say you could use it. Sorry, carry on. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
You could use it in some sort of. Use it in some sort of obnoxious mini game that you don't control, where you swim and have to somehow kick a ball underwater into a net, which will go unnamed.
Yeah. It's a legendary volleyball that was used for a national finals event. It has a habit of dealing knockouts if pelted in someone's face. This going by the idea that, like, most people who aren't adventurers would be commoners, which have, like, low hit points. So, if someone gets pelted with this, it's like, oh, that's, like, 4 1 bludgeoning, 4 psychic, non-lethal? Oh, they're just unconscious. Okay, then. And then we have something that is a bit, like, it's kind of a tongue-in-cheek reference to, like, MMOs. So it's called Ferocious Water Pistol of the Lion. Which is a slight tongue-in-cheek reference to RPG MMOs, particularly Diablo, I think, has of the Lion as one of its, like, bonus types for weapon that items can be. So it's a firearm, does no damage. No, 0 piercing damage, but has a range of 40 or 80. When attuned and the command word is spoken, basically you have to say the word roar loudly. The damage dealt by this weapon becomes 3d4 force damage. This damage is increased by +3 during summer. It's adding a really weird restriction. It's like, who is using a water pistol outside of summer anyway? What kind of maniac?
Imagine we held up with a water pistol. That's the first thing I thought of.
Yeah. This is a wizard's dumb idea of a joke made manifest. This is very much a get off my lawn type weapon that would probably be used by grumpy old wizards that want to make a point. Like, leave, get away from my tower, you hooligans.
What's it really good against cats?
Just has advantage against. I should put that has advantage against cats. Attacks made against cats have advantage. Perfect.
To say for that one.
Oh, brilliant. And also I'll put here as well. Again, damage is non-lethal because it is a water pistol.
Yeah, it is just a water pistol. Yeah.
So that's my hopers of the week. I hope you enjoyed those. I hope you have a wonderful
I
summer.
did.
I will probably
Yeah,
do
as
similar
well as,
to the Mirrodin stuff. If I think of any more
uh,
stupid summer themed ideas, I will add them and let people know.
I was going to say about the volleyball.
Uh huh.
Can you if you had to the two weapon fighting, could you weirdly dual wield these?
You know what? I would say yes. I would say yes. You could theoretically dual
Amazing.
wield volleyballs, just pelting ass volleyballs at people. Just shoosh, man. Because I mean, you can dual wield hand axes, can't you? Pretty sure.
You can.
So same
Yeah, if
principle
it's light,
applies. Same principle applies.
amazing.
I'll just give it the light property, so that makes sense. Yeah, because they should be light. They're volleyballs. It's not like they're made of metal. They're made of like pig's bladder or no? What are they? Like
Yeah,
cloth?
some of the pig leather.
Yeah, yeah, like like leathery type stuff, like usually filled there. Anyway, so that's homebrews of the week sorted. Do we have any? Do we have any sounds like gaming for this week? Do we have any interesting gaming stuff, funny or good in any case? Because I have
Yes,
something.
yes,
Go ahead.
yes, I do. Let me find it. Uh, my For some reason, my Firefox reset itself, which
Oh.
has been thoroughly pleasant and not in any way annoying
Uh
to
huh.
relog into everything.
Oh, yep.
I didn't need my passwords all saved anyway. No, I don't need that.
Oh.
Blah, blah, blah. There we are. Yes. There is a really nice track that from I think we talked about Echo the Dolphin, Defender of the Future, but pick one in particular.
Oh.
It's just called Shrine of Controversy. It's really cool. Um,
Echo is
it's
just really good
it's
for music stuff.
if you want underwater music, you really can't do much better. Um, there we go. Back in dark mode. Yes. How do I summon this track? It's in the game. It's like the first level where you've gone into the dark future stuff
Oh.
and all that. It's the weird future where the dolphins were subservient and the humans were gone, so that sort of they weirdly sort of some of them sometimes worship humans' memory because they were literally using them as like just to get to do manual labor somehow. It's weird. Um, so it's quite grim, and the water's poisoned and murky and green, and it sounded vaguely religious and sort of how would I what's the it sounds like it's honoring something. It's really cool, really tense track. And I like this track so much that back when I would reliably play Subnautica 1, oh, find it. It should be on my channel. I did a video. Well, I don't have many videos I've ever done on my YouTube channel, but one of the ones I did was an advert for my
Ooh.
I
Yeah.
because I played Subnautica creatively, and what I did was I tried to get the at least 2 eggs of every single fish in the game because I thought
Interesting.
that'd be neat. And I made a trailer for which, to my knowledge, is the world's um, only aquarium you can find in Subnautica, at least on my version of the game.
Oh.
It had a whole 7 views from 6 years ago. I'm going to put it here. I'm sure it's quite choppy now. It's it, it's so good to actually use it for a YouTube video. Because I heard it and I thought, this if I was in an aquarium, if I like the deep sea stuff, probably
Uh-huh.
like dolphins and uh, but like the Sea Life Centre, like the massive area with the sharks. I imagine it would
Yeah.
fit in like a glove
Yeah,
there with all the fake Atlantis stuff.
yeah.
So
It's
I've
like
just put
your first trip through there is that, and then your second trip through is running as fast as you can while playing the eyewitness theme.
if I ever made a museum, I would base a museum just off that eyewitness museum.
Uh,
That it'd be the world's first eye shape, and before you get in, it would be like a train. It's like a small train ride you go on.
hmm.
Uh, where it basically simulates the eyewitness opening. Like you have to ride it to get in.
Amazing. I would go to that
I think,
museum.
yeah, I'd love it as well. The only problem is it would be blindingly white, which for some
Hmm.
people would be kind of difficult. And imagine cleaning that.
Yeah.
You spill maybe the no drinks area. Anyway, yeah.
So yeah,
Shrine of Controversy.
yeah. It's kind of
And
eerie.
my Yes, and my attempt at making an advert for an aquarium in a game where everything is already underwater because I thought that'd be funny.
Oh, amazing. So mine is slightly less cool and significantly more funny. This goes back to what I was saying in the beginning with the horse girl thing. So there is just
Yeah.
straight. So there's a lot of like idol themed music in it because they also do like idol themed concerts after each race for some reason. Um, but one of the tracks, which isn't actually an idol show thing in the game, as far as I'm aware, is
Yeah.
just it's just one of the characters saying a particular word over and over again. They made their own song, and it's just this. I will just send you this.
Oh, sweet.
The joke is don't let this character go anywhere near the jukebox because they will.
Okay, let's give it.
There's a very high chance that when you log into the game, this song will be playing because that character requested it.
Oh,
Yeah.
sounds great.
Um,
Cool.
Yep, I don't know why they were like, oh yeah, got all these like really cool like J-pop music, and then there's just this, whatever this is. I have no idea
It sounds
why
like
it's
from
here.
sounds like Jet Set Radio almost.
Yeah, I love how like head
Wow.
empty and upbeat it sounds, and it's like, what is going on here? Hmm.
I had Kieran and some of the older friend lot around last night. There's a song that have you heard of Tom Waits? The piano has been drinking.
What?
Maybe you have. So, Tom Waits was a singer who famously performed everything piss drunk.
Oh.
And he has a song called. All his songs sound kind of amazing because of it. But he has a song called "The Piano Has Been Drinking," and the lyrics are ridiculous. Last night I heard the song you just sent over. Sounds like a cleaner version of something he'd wrote if he was an idol. The best part about it, the song I was thinking of, I heard a live performance of it.
Oh my
I don't know,
goodness.
like from like decades ago.
Mhm.
He is somehow even less coherent live than non-studio. It's incredible. It's amazing stuff.
That is fantastic.
Yeah, so if you want to listen to something really weird,
Oh my
yeah,
days.
that's almost unbeatable.
Phenomenal. Do we have any closing thoughts this week?
Yeah, yes. Ideally, you won't go 2 weeks without a thing with any luck.
Hopefully,
So sorry
yes.
for that.
Sorry, folks. It's
Um,
sometimes
and
things just happen.
life gets in the way,
Yeah.
but we do our best. I do, but there is the wheel, lest we forget.
Oh yes, yes. The wheel.
There's been a wheel-based incident, and I have lost some of the things, but we were pretty low on stuff. So added
A
what you
wheel-based
had remaining.
incident. A wheel-based incident has
Wheel-based
occurred.
incident. Yes. So I added some new ones, and the old ones that we had. So we have from the top, domestic animal,
Yep.
cursed item, aquatic creature slash construct, primitive slash tribal, impractical object, and false intimidation.
Oh.
So give it a quick spin.
Spin! That's it. It's your one spin
Well,
of the
that's
day,
nice.
folks. So, what have we landed on this for next week?
Aquatic creature slash construct.
Ooh.
So I guess thematically we're sick of summer already, and I've decided to escape the surface altogether to avoid the sun. Um, that's nice. Okay, so aquatic creature slash construct.
Very
Or
nice.
constructs, because we do some multiple stuff now. Yes. So hopefully next week, same time, same place. Any
Yes.
closing thoughts? Speak yourself.
So I've got one small one, and that is I finally managed to get a hold of a tall geese that I could actually display. Because the Gundam card game released, and there's some tiny miniatures with it, and they're actually like, miniature scale miniatures. So I have like a tall geese
Huh?
now. I need to paint him, but that also means I can paint him in funny goose colors. But yeah, I have that, and I have two other Gundams. None of them are Zaku's, but there is a starter set with Zaku's in it, I think. But the other
Very good.
miniatures are also from Endless Waltz, I think, or the Gundam Wing series. So I'll paint them up as canon. And yeah, I finally have a tall geese that I could display that isn't my real grade. Although apparently, it turns out the real grade is actually shorter than I thought it was. I thought it was going to be as big as the box. No, that's just because it's on sprues, I realise. So I might build that up as well.
Fair enough.
But in any case, I actually have I have a small geese now, or short geese. Regular sized geese.
I like small geese.
Small geese, yeah. So I'm
And
happy
geese.
with that. just geese, yeah. It's just geese, not tall. So I'm happy with that. And on that happy note,
Yeah.
let's end the stream for the week, and we shall see you guys sooner rather than
Thanks
later,
for having us again.
hopefully.
And
Yes. Thank you for tuning. We are going to raid out to.
Well, then get on the long ship.
Do we raid? You know, we raid Rav's. We were talking about. No, actually, no. It's raid. Somebody smaller. I like raiding smaller folks. Actually, we'll raid Lucy. They're playing some Stardew Valley. Whose game is currently not in summer. They're in winter right now. But.
That's perfect.
So the raid message will be below. Get in the raid wagon, everybody, and we'll see you guys soon. Ta-da!
See you soon.
Goodbye, and don't spend too much money on horsewomen.
Good advice for life, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, beans. What have I done here? There we go. Oh, the raid is going on. There we go. So I've managed to successfully raid. There we go. Just right-click fail. Successfully raid.
Right-click fail.
There we go. Just task failed successfully, as is always on this. As is always on this thing. See you folks in the next one.